Welcome to an electric atmosphere at the Dog Pound in Waukegan, where we're set for the CAC Network Game of the Week as the Warren Blue Devils take on the Waukegan Bulldogs in an NSC matchup. Hi everybody, alongside Don Johnson, I'm Connor Klingen. Don, this gym goes all the way back to 1927, and a game like tonight brings back memories of all the legends that have gone through this building.
A lot of buzz. If this gym could talk, it would tell you about Emmanuel Gator and the Gator Chop. Then it would tell you about one of the most coveted basketball players to ever wear a uniform in this gym, Jeremy Richmond, a legitimate McDonald's All-American who turned the house down with a half-court shot, and ironically, the opponent was Warren. And Mr. 2010, Mr. Basketball from Warren, Brandon Paul, faced off against Jeremy Richmond. This place was packed. It was pandemonium. Of course, it delivered when Richmond hit the half-court shot.
One of the great games in IHSA history, and you mentioned a couple of Mr. Basketball winners. We may have a future one here tonight in the freshman phenom, Jackson Davis for Warren.
A lot of buzz behind Jackson Davis. He's only a freshman. He's coming fresh out of the Proviso West tournament where he earned the MVP crown. He was a freshman, the first one in the history of the prestigious tournament to be crowned a freshman and MVP of the Proviso West. And we're talking about, some big names, Kevin Garnett, and, you name it, there's a whole list of guys there, and he's representing that list.
There's plenty of hype around this young man. Most of it is earned with what he's done on the floor. But for Waukegan and Coach Ashland and this home crowd, they want to tell a different story tonight.
Oh, yeah, they do, because they know there's plenty of history here. We can go back to Jerome Whitehead. We can go back to a number of players that have worn the Waukegan uniform, so they feel the pride, they feel the energy, they feel the challenge.
Don, you had a chance to sit down with both head coaches prior to this game. How are they feeling about the match?
Well, both these programs have experienced a resurgence, if you will. They were down a little bit before the pandemic, and now they're coming back. And we're going to see some interesting basketball that'll be representative of high school basketball in the North Suburban League.
Well, you'll get the chance to hear from both head coaches coming up next. And after that, we'll have tip-off between 15-1 Warren and a Waukegan team on a 9-game winning streak at 11-4. It should be a great one here tonight on the CAC Network.
Welcome to My Generation Sports. My guest today is head basketball coach from Warren, Zach Ryan. And Zach, tell us some of the lessons that you may have learned from competing in a high-caliber tournament like the Proviso West basketball tournament.
Yeah, I think obviously winning a tournament like that can really springboard a team, and I think that's what it did for us. And I think it showed that we can win in multiple ways against different teams with different styles of play. And really, I think it just shows the toughness and the character of our guys, because you're playing 4 games in 4 days. There's not a lot of prep time. You're traveling. And to get out of there 4-0 and winning that tournament, I think it shows a lot about our guys' character and how tough they are and able to bounce back and play against some really talented teams and show that we obviously could compete and beat them.
A lot of buzz behind a freshman by the name of Jackson Davis. Talk about his impact that he's had since he's been playing with you in this short season so far.
Yeah, obviously Jackson's unique and very good basketball player, especially as a freshman. To come in and do what he did at Proviso is obviously historic. It's the first time that's ever happened. And it makes it, as a coach, a lot easier when you have a guy like that, especially at the point guard position. But yeah, he's doing a great job, and most people would say he doesn't act like a freshman. He's very poised and very mature. And I think the biggest thing with Jackson is he just wants to win. And when your best player, who happens to be a freshman, has that kind of attitude and mindset, I think it trickles down. And the other thing I think that makes these guys special is they're all very accepting of him. They know that, you know, sometimes that's rare for a team to have, you know, a freshman come in and there not be any animosity. These guys are all very accepting of him. They're all friends. And in addition to Jackson, we have a lot of other pieces around him, guys that we brought back from last year that played a lot. And so I think when you have some guys returning that played a lot, and then you inject a really good young player, I think it's blended. These guys have blended well together, and it's obviously shown so far. He makes guys around him better, and he's shown that ability to, whether that's encouraging guys positively, setting guys up offensively because he passes the ball so well. Guys realizing that having him out there can help their game offensively, especially. And that's just part of being a point guard and making his teammates better, and he really does that well. And he doesn't care how many, and what makes our team unique, I think, is nobody cares. Like, Jackson's not always our leading scorer. We have other guys that have stepped up this year and led us in scoring. The team doesn't really care who scores, and that's, I think, what makes us special. It's all about the team and not a certain guy here or there. And that's as a coach, that makes it a lot easier for us to just kind of worry about the basketball stuff and the chemistry and the character, and no one cares who gets the spotlight or all the points. Makes our team unique, and I think it's very special. Our senior, Alex Daniels, who's a returning all-conference player last year for us as a junior, and Alex is a senior captain and provides just a steady kind of calming influence on the team, and has really stepped up his game. I mean, he's been playing well all year, but he really turned some heads at Proviso, especially in the Kenwood game, and he shows that he's gonna be a college player. He's got good size. He could score inside and out, and defends well. But really, he's just a steady force for us that has been done a great job these last 2 years and is really playing well. In addition to him, we have another sophomore guard, Braylon Walker, who started for us as a freshman. He's our best perimeter defender. He's kind of taken on that role for us, and he's shooting the ball really well too. So, and then our other senior, Manny Brown, has really played well all year for us. He played a little bit last year off the bench, but we got a lot of guys that have experience and can play. So we have Jackson, but we also have a lot of other key pieces, both guards, wings, and bigger guys that make us a tough team to defend. We've played a wide range of opponents this year, and some really good ones. And I think we've showed that we've been able to win in multiple ways. I mean, obviously, we want to get up and down the floor offensively and play really good half court man defense. What we're doing isn't necessarily rocket science. We want to get up and down the floor. We're on a motion offense, and we play really good half-court defense. So those are kind of our staples. We don't try to overcomplicate things, and these guys have been doing it really well. But I think kind of how Jackson mentioned, it starts with our defense. Our ability to pressure the ball with our guards really makes us tough, and we can eventually force teams into longer possessions and when we're lucky, turn them over, and that gets us into our break really well. I think that's when we're at our best.
Your next opponent is going to be Waukegan. Let's talk about going into the Dog Pound, its history, and then the history of the matchup between Warren and Waukegan.
Yeah, they're playing really well. They've won 9 straight games. So I think you got two teams playing well that know each other well in this Lake County area, and obviously going there is a special place. And I know our guys are looking forward to it, and I'm sure they are too. And it's a special game, and we're happy that it's getting some buzz, and both of us are playing well, and kind of heating up this rivalry a little bit. But our guys are excited. We feel we're prepared, and we'll go tomorrow night and see what happens.
I'm with head basketball coach Ron Ashlar from the Waukegan Bulldogs, and what I'd like to find out from you is, being your second term around as a head basketball coach here, how have things changed, and how has your approach changed?
First time around was exciting. Some of the best teams in school history. Disappeared for a couple of years, came back, and it was like getting the band back together again. Sort of picked up where we left off, had some elite teams, a little bit of a dip the last few years, but we're right back where Waukegan basketball is supposed to be, we hope.
When people think about Waukegan basketball, they cannot separate the players from this facility, the Dog Pound. There have been a lot of great games here, and you were coaching in many of those games. Let's talk about that history that the Dog Pound has and what that does for the history of the Waukegan program for those that may not know.
You know, there's a lot of debate up here in this northeastern part of the state of Illinois about the greatest games ever played here involving Waukegan, certainly other sectional games. We like to think that the 2009 sectional championship against Warren, who'll be walking in here in a few days, is the greatest one of all time. We try to connect our current players and our current program with the past. I say to our players all the time that in sports, part of it is living in the past, because we have great tradition and we want to honor the success that's happened prior to now. Obviously, living in the present is important because that's where we are, and we're trying to set our own legacy. And also thinking about the future. We have young guys up on this varsity. We're always looking at the lower levels, trying to develop them to see who are going to be the next stars in this gym. So it's living in these different worlds, and particularly in a place like Waukegan where there is such great tradition. We're talented and athletic again this year, and that always serves us well. We have 5 starters who are very interchangeable parts. We were talking before about playing positionless basketball. We have a lot of guys that can do a lot of things. We're fun to watch, we're exciting. We get text messages and emails all the time, but just about how fun we are to watch because we do play really hard, we play very aggressively. We're a high octane offense, can put the ball in the basket, as well as some of the great teams we've ever had here. We don't have like what you would say is a designated point guard because we give our guys anybody the freedom to push the ball up the floor and other guys to fill lanes and do all our transition, kind of responsibilities and roles. We have sophomore Carter Newsom, who has taken a massive step. He was a starter for us last year as a freshman. At times had a foot injury that kept him out a little bit. He has elevated his game as much as anybody from one year to the next. Shot the lights out over Christmas vacation at the Elgin Holiday Tournament. A great floor leader, probably knows the playbook better than anybody, including the coaching staff. He's a basketball savant. This is among the deeper teams that we've had. It's one of the best perimeter shooting teams that we've had in a long time. And what we always kind of say is, we think about how we're going to match up with people, but what are people going to do to match up with us? Because we have a lot of firepower. So we have a lot of, the little parlor game, chess game about who's on their squad going to match up with our guys and then what kinds of things that's going to lead us to tactically versus our opponents, because they have to make some decisions also. Our veteran guys are very welcoming to the young guys. Sometimes there could be like kind of sides of the locker room a little bit.
Yes.
We have a lot of young guys that could be playing lower level basketball, but we believe it's in their best interest to play up against the best players that we have in our school. And Samarion Carter is one of them, and he's only a sophomore. But he's a starter, very good player. But for some of those other guys in his class, and then Zach, who's the freshman, to play against our best guys every day will accelerate their careers. To me, basketball is about practice. And obviously the games are what matter. The games are what everybody sees and make judgments on. But your career is built in practice. So if you're challenged every day and you have to really hang on in the early stages to go against the best guys that we have in our program, eventually the game will come easier too because of those early struggles. And I think our young guys are really buying into that idea. This is obviously a huge game, but for both teams, there's a lot of basketball still to be played and a lot of conference and a lot of sectional seeding and all that stuff that's gonna start to take shape. We're still in the process of finding ourselves. As well as we have played, I believe we still have a lot of ceiling to go. And we're just excited about trying to apply who we are against a high-quality opponent like Warren this year.
Welcome back to the Dog Pound in Waukegan, where the starting lineups are being introduced. And Don, you can't beat this atmosphere. There is not an empty seat in the house.
No, it isn't, and it's reminiscent of years past in the Dog Pound. A lot of character in this gym. A lot of tradition. We saw the honor guard, we saw the showing of the colors, and now they're introducing the starting lineups.
And the first player introduced, we talked about him in the open, Jackson Davis, coming off that Proviso West Tournament MVP. But there's some other players that can step up for the Blue Devils, including Alex Daniels.
Well, Alex Daniels made that all-tourney team at Proviso West. He is the tallest post player on the team at 6'6", and gives him some rebounding and some length.
And now the lineup's being introduced for Waukegan. and you can just feel the buzz in this gym. It brings it back to that game we talked about in the open when Jeremy Richmond hit that shot.
Yes, the buzz is back. Waukegan fans are back. High school basketball fans are back in the Dog Pound. You don't get much better than that.
We've talked so much about Davis, but Samarian Carter for the Bulldogs averaging over 15 a game and nearly 9 boards tonight as well.
Well, it's going to be Carter and Dunn that they're going to have to get scoring from. But the key is going to be how can they slow down, number one, Jackson Davis.
Not an easy task coming off 36 points in the championship game of the Proviso West Holiday Tournament. But you mentioned Nehemiah Dunn. He is a really talented player for the Bulldogs. Over 17 points tonight and also defensively over 2 steals a game.
Yeah, well, we know that Carter Newsom is the name that comes up, who may be assigned the task of defending him. And the interesting thing about it is Carter Newsom is one of his buddies. They grew up playing basketball at the lower levels against each other, so they're quite well acquainted with their styles and the way they play.
And these two communities close together. They've known each other for a long time. These kids have probably been going against each other since they started dribbling a ball.
Oh, you know it. And that new Civic Center where the basketball arena is there, the outdoor parks around here that have the history. People love basketball in Waukegan. People love basketball in the northern suburbs. And we're going to get a taste of that here tonight.
Waukegan in the home white, Warren in the road black, and we are ready to get underway. Samarian Carter against Alex Daniels for the tip, and it's one. Initially it looked like Carter, but it goes to Warren, and the Blue Devils will have possession first.
Blue Devils sporting their dark uniforms here tonight.
And here is Jackson Davis with the basketball. In the corner, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Devils.
Brandon Phillips reaching in the lane, getting his right hand on there. Playing good, tough, sticky defense, and I'm sure that's what Ron Ashlaw wants.
Well, we talked about the fast pace, but both of these teams stout defensively as well, holding opponents to under 60 points a game on both sides. Davis quickly double team, tried to find a man down low, it's stolen away. Brandon Phillips into the front court, a little Euro step, and one. How's that for a start? Nehemiah Dunn.
Well, back in the day, maybe they would have called that traveling. But today, it's a Euro step. So Dunn's going to have a chance to make this a three-point play, coming off really a forced pass by their defense.
It's definitely a different game today, but Dunn showing why he's one of the best players in the North Suburban Conference, and a 3-0 lead for Waukegan to get things started.
So Dunn does the job, getting to the line, scoring, taking advantage of the opportunity.
Davis outside, Braylon Walker steps in with the teardrop off the back iron, and the rebound taken there by Carter.
And here comes Waukegan on the transition.
Carter with the runner, he got it! Jackson Davis was trailing on defense, but Carter with 2 points, and it's 5-0 Bulldogs. Braylon Walker rattles home the three, and we're off to a quick start.
We know the tempo is going to be up-tempo because we have 2 racehorse teams, so I expect them to go up and down the court.
Joseph Worthington, an offensive foul as Alex Daniels takes the charge.
Well, you can see both teams trying to attack the basket. Joseph Worthington thought he had a gap there. Worthington went to the basket, and it was an offensive foul, so it's going to go to the other way.
So Worthington picks up his first foul, 1 on each team. 6:40 to go, first quarter, 5-3, Waukegan ahead.
So Waukegan pretty juiced up at home in the Dog Pound, taking it to Warren right away.
You can sense it.
Give and go, nice.
Yeah, Davis to Daniels, that's a good combination for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, you can see they're working it to perfection. Little pick and roll.
Carter over for Worthington. Now a 3 from the outside. Newsom buries it on the rainbow shot. 8-5, Waukegan ahead.
You get.
Here's Jackson Davis. Davis on the right wing. Awkward shot, but he got it, and that's why he's such a talented player.
Yeah, he can make something that looks awkward, looks simple, and you saw an example of that now. 8-7, Waukegan up.
Down to the free throw line, extended Carter, outside Worthington. That clangs off the back iron, and the rebound taken by Braylon Walker. Walker thought about it, dishes out Daniels for three, and Warren's got the lead. 10-8 Blue Devils.
Daniels finding his range, and when you stand at 6'6", it gives you a little looking room.
That one's deflected,
Here he
up
comes.
ahead to Jackson Davis with the lay-in, blocked. Oh, what a block by Dunn. And then a foul on the other end.
So Nehemiah Dunn goes up in the clouds and kind of gives Jackson Davis his calling card. So a great block. You see Dunn's explosiveness right there.
Javarian Banks picks up the foul. It's into Carter Newsom in the backcourt. Defended there by Davis. Now Worthington across the court for Dunn. One of the longer possessions we've seen tonight. There hasn't been much of this half-court offense, and it was nearly stolen away, tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bulldogs.
Good quick hands by Braylon Walker, getting in the lane, getting his hand on the ball, not giving him a clear passing lane. As you take a look at Zach Ryan over there on the sideline in the blue. Zach, the head coach for the Warren Blue Devils.
They get it into Worthington. Out of bounds, it will stay with the Bulldogs. Zach Ryan in his second year as the head coach at Warren. He was previously at Carmel Catholic. As Josh Stewart getting ready to enter the game for Warren, the first sub we've seen tonight.
Yeah, Javarian Banks is going to sit down, and Stewart comes in for him.
And that actually was a second foul on Banks. So that's notable. As into the lane, a travel called on Dunn. Don, you said earlier he had the Euro step. That time he didn't get away with it.
No, he did. Zach Ryan was up off the bench kind of exhorting the referee to call him on the travel, and they get him this time. So Warren will have a chance to extend their lead. They're up by 2.
10-8 Blue Devils.
A little
Walker.
semi-half-court pressure there.
They go over to Stewart. Now down the lane, Daniels, and an offensive foul. First foul on Alex Daniels. That is the 4th.
Offensive foul. Daniels goes to the bucket. Good anticipation by the Bulldogs defensively. Getting in the lane, not giving him a clear lane. Ron Ashlaw clearly has his team a little tuned up and ready for this competition.
Newsom into the lane. Nearly stolen, tipped out of bounds, and it will stay with
Waukegan ball. Yep. So up-tempo pace, good energy in the room by both teams, and just as we anticipated.
Absolutely. These two teams like to play at that quick pace. Can expect a high-scoring affair tonight.
So far they're going man-to-man, Warren is. A little zone, little man zone, huh?
Worthington driving the lane. He had it affected there by Emmanuel Brown.
Jackson
Up ahead
Davis.
for Davis in the front court with the lay-in. 2 more for Jackson Davis. It's 12-8 Warren.
A nice transition bucket. They take advantage of the quick rebound and the outlet. Jackson Davis getting a cherry pick.
Carter Newsom defended by Davis. Gives off for Dunn. Dunn down the right side. Blocking foul. He'll head to the line for 2.
Dunn being very aggressive offensively, not taking any moments there. He's just attacking the basket. And you can see coaches up off the bench. Zach Ryan kind of talking to the referees right now.
Josh Stewart picked up the foul. That is the 5th on Warren as a team. So Dunn at the free throw line for 2. The leading scorer for Waukegan, over 17 points a game. And this was a Waukegan team that had some early struggles. They're 2-2 in conference play. They started 2-4, but it's been 9 straight wins.
Yeah, you can tell that they're building momentum and they're crescendoing at the right time in the second part of the season. This is when you want to do it.
That's when you got to play your best leading into February and then eventually March. when the most important games of the year happen. But this one, even though it's in early January, means a lot to both squads.
Oh yeah, you can bet about it.
And it's stolen by Dunn. Racing ahead for Carter. Now Dunn on the left wing to the baseline. What a pass, but it's blocked. Jackson Davis, and Daniels was in the area as well.
Yeah, Alex Daniels and Jackson Davis collapsed as Dunn went hard to the basket, and he's been doing that. You can tell he's got that mentality to attack the basket.
12-10, Warren ahead, 3:16 to go first quarter. 3 on the way from Dunn. Oh, and a wedgie. That'll be a jump ball and a tie-up. Possession arrow will keep it with Waukegan. You don't see that too often.
No, you don't. Had to have the perfect trajectory, the perfect physical parabolic angle.
Harder to do that than to swish it.
I'm telling you.
Carter Newsom to inbound. Gets it in for Dunn, defended by Walker. Dunn pulls the trigger, can't hit. Davis rises for the rebound. Raylan Walker. Some patience, gives over for Stewart. Now a mid-range jumper on the way, and Emmanuel Brown
Good
has
ball movement by Warren, and nice-looking stroke by Manny Brown.
And out of bounds, it'll be Warren basketball, 14-10 lead.
Warren seems to be a little bit more composed, but I like the aggressiveness of the way Waukegan has come out in this game, but they're going to have to settle down, not turn that ball over, get some good looks.
My mistake there. They actually called a foul on Nehemiah Dunn. That's his first, second on Waukegan as a team. And now the officials may need to discuss here.
They're going to come to midcourt here and kind of confer with each other to make sure that they made the right call here.
Well, now it looks like they're going to the scorer's table. Maybe an adjustment on the clock.
There it is. Taking a look. Certainly got Zach Ryan's attention as he got up off the bench.
So it's back to the Blue Devils. This team at 15-1, coming off winning the Proviso West Holiday Tournament. Walker, and down low the bucket for Brown.
Nice assist by Braylon Walker, dropping it off for his teammate. There was a collision in midcourt there. Josh Stewart was trying to step in the lane, and he ran into, it looks like, a Waukegan player.
And the Bulldogs fans were hoping for a foul call. But Waukegan does keep the basketball. 2:25 to go in the first quarter. The Bulldogs down by 6.
The guy with the ball, Joseph Worthington, got the worst of that collision.
Worthington just rejoined Waukegan this year. Moved away and came back to the district.
Well, that's a name in these parts that Worthington, Bobby Worthington, was a coach and a very fine basketball player in Zion Benton. So that name Worthington means something in basketball around here.
Carter was blocked there out of bounds by Braylon Walker, so it'll stay with Waukegan. But that seems to be a theme, Don, in this area. A lot of families that just are basketball royalty.
So yeah, a lot of roots in the area. People stay here, and they feel committed to the proposition of good basketball around here.
Worthington for 3, went down. It's an air ball, and it'll be Warren basketball. He's trying to draw the foul call there, but he doesn't get it.
Yeah, that's the second time he's hit the deck there. He's taking the worst of it on the last 2 possessions.
Carter Newsom applying some pressure in the backcourt. Jackson Davis brings it over the line, has
Stole
it poked away. Brandon
Davis
Phillips
gets it right back.
Good hustle, and it'll be Warren basketball.
Well, Carter Newsom, his buddy, who knows how to play him because he plays him a lot on the playground, took the ball away from him back there, but Jackson has deceptively quick hands, and I saw him do that in the Stevenson game. Turn around and take it right back. Really quick hands.
Great effort from the freshman and awareness to get down the floor and steal it away, but then
Take it
Daniels
away.
lost it.
Newsom.
Worthington able to get the handle. Up the floor to Phillips. Now here's Newsom.
Newsom's been averaging about close to 2 steals per game this season.
Dunn with the spin move, the bucket, but an offensive foul wipes it away.
Well,
Alex Daniels taking the charge.
Well, we've seen Dunn be aggressive. This time they beat him. They beat him to the spot where he wanted to get to.
It's the second foul on Dunn, so it wipes away the 2 points. 16-10 Warren, 1:10 to go in the first quarter.
Fans letting the refs know that they don't approve. As they try to clean up a spot down there on the floor, you can see it in the camera.
Well, for the most part, though, the calls have been going the way of the Bulldogs. 5 fouls against Warren, 3 against Waukegan.
And we'll see how that affects them getting to the free throw line, right?
Trying to get the bonus with those 7 fouls. Here's Dunn.
Picking them up at full court defense there.
Newsom playing aggressive defense. Down
Nice
low.
inset pass.
Daniels in traffic, able to save it. Loose on the floor, a battle for it. And a quick timeout. No, it's a jump ball.
Yeah,
It will
Josh
stay.
Stewart got on the ground and looked like a rugby scrum. And he came up with the ball, tried to call the quick timeout, but not in time, I don't think. Let's see what the possession arrow goes to.
Early on, Don, with the bodies flying, with the crowd, you can see the intensity of this rivalry.
Yes, you can. You feel the energy, and we do have a packed house here. It's a full house here.
Davis for 3.
Smooth stroke. And that's Jackson Davis.
The lefty stroke. It doesn't get smoother than that. Newsom with the handle. Nearly responded with a 3 of his own. But Dunn can't hit on the putback. Now another chance. Carter rattles out, and the rebound taken by Walker. 19-10
So that's-
Blue Devils.
When you look at the Warren team, not tall in stature, and so that's what you worry about when they come up against a team who might be a little bit bigger than them on the boards.
Josh Stewart kicks in the corner. Now Davis with 5 seconds. Over for Stewart. Off the back iron. Battle for the rebound. A tie-up. It'll be Waukegan basketball with
That's what you like.
0.8.
Brandon Phillips down there battling in the low block.
As
It looked like he's
Devon
battling
Brown.
with Josh Stewart down there.
Devon Brown checking in, the junior for Waukegan. As you get a look at the head coach, Ron Ashlaw, in his second stint here at Waukegan. Of course, he led the Bulldogs to back-to-back Final Four finishes in 2009.
He had some
and 10.
tremendous teams.
Oh, what an effort at the buzzer from Worthington, but can't hit from beyond half court. Doing his best Jeremy Richmond impression there, but it didn't work. We'll send it to a break. Warren leads 19-10 at the end of 1.
Every goal, every touchdown, a promise. And that promise deserves safeguarding. Introducing draft protection and loss of value insurance. Dream without limits. We've got the coverage. Opalentia. Plan your legacy. Call us now at 708-505-9719. Dog Style Inc. provides a pet-friendly campus that features boarding, training, home management, seasonal daycare, and grooming services. It's a small family business that takes pride in its knowledgeable staff and trainers with a family approach. The 3 acres of land surrounded by Half-Day Forest Preserve provides a great place for exercise and playtime for your dog. We're more than just a kennel. Dog Style is a lifestyle. Call us at 847-634-0722.
Welcome back to the Dog Pound in Waukegan, getting ready to start the second quarter. The Warren Blue Devils ahead 19-10 over the Waukegan Bulldogs. And the Blue Devils will start with the basketball here in quarter number 2. 7 points for Jackson Davis in that
You're
first
starting to see the Blue Devils kind of settle in to their half-court offense, and they're comfortable that way, but they're also comfortable with pushing the ball.
Walker had it poked away. It'll stay with Warren. A couple of subs check in.
You can
Nehemiah
tell Ron
Dunn.
Ashlaw has the Waukegan Bulldogs razor sharp, ready to play. They came in, you could tell with conviction to go to the basket hard. Nehemiah Dunn pretty much has been that guy.
And Dunn just checked back in. Jakari Nab onto the floor for the first time for Warren. And he comes away with a quick bucket. 2 points for Nab, and it's 21-10 Warren. Well, the Bulldogs are in desperate need of a run here.
Well, they got to make their shot opportunities when they get them, and that's where you see Warren. They convert when they have that opportunity.
Brandon Phillips can't hit the runner. The rebound taken by Davis. Pushing ahead for Nab. Now Brown down the left side of the lane.
Finger roll.
That's pretty.
Amani Brown.
23-10 Warren. Now the other way, tipped out of bounds. Don, at one point, this was an 8-7 lead for Waukegan. Since then, it's been 16-2 Warren.
And I think in large part because Waukegan has not made their shot opportunities when they've gotten towards the basket. They've got good looks. They haven't made their shot opportunities. Warren is probably getting high percentage shots.
Dunn kicks out. Phillips, corner three. Off the back iron, Davis with a rebound.
Davis on the defensive board. You're 6'1" guard, right? Clears on the defensive board.
He's been impressive on that end. Nab in the corner, too strong. Tipped out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Blue Devils. 23-10, 6:38 to go, second quarter. It was a frantic start, and now Coach Ashlaw will take a timeout with his team trailing by 13. Don, what do you think Coach Ashlaw is saying to his team here in this moment?
Well, I like the energy that they came out with, the conviction to go hard at the basket. Now they have to settle down and be a little bit more fundamental in their game and more deliberate, especially going to the basket, finishing on offense.
And knowing this rivalry, though, as much as Warren has built this 13-point lead, you have the feeling Waukegan's got to run it.
Oh, you know it's coming.
It's coming.
They're a little bit nervous. They're in front of home fans in the dog pound. They know the history. You see Otto Graham's poster up there in the rafters. And as we talked about, the history of some great basketball players here. Jerome Whitehead, who went on to Marquette and then played NBA basketball. And Al McGuire would refer to him affectionately as an aircraft carrier because he was 6'11", he had pretty good movement, and he could score. And then we talk about Shannon King, a kid that was here that was a 7-foot high jumper, but a tremendous basketball player as well. So Waukegan has its own history of great basketball.
And in a gym like this, I mean, you just get the feeling. I mean, this is old school. It doesn't get better than this. Built in 1927. Down low, Daniels, wide open, Emmanuel Brown, 25-10 Warren.
I like the ball movement, dropping it off for Emmanuel Brown, giving the easy bucket. It looks like Waukegan's working a lot harder on offense to try to get a good look.
It has been really difficult for them. Worthington with the crossover, can't hit the three, loose on the floor, taken there by Nab. Now Davis pushing ahead. Jackson Davis, stutter step, left it short.
You saw Davis switch gears, they try to trap the ball. Waukegan does a good job of moving it up court quickly.
Samarian Carter in the lane, and Waukegan just cannot find a bucket right now.
Warren clearing the boards, one shot and clear. Here they come on the transition.
Walker has it poked away. Now Worthington working the right side, kicks back out. Dunn up top, defended by Brown. Nehemiah Dunn driving the left side, and the Bulldogs really needed that.
Good explosive first step by Nehemiah Dunn. Continues to be aggressive on offense.
Daniels trying to back his way, offensive foul, and that'll be the second on Alex Daniels.
Might have been a little French pastry on that one. Little acting. Alex Daniels getting his second foul, and he's a critical part of their rebounding and their front line. As we mentioned, he was an all-tournament at Proviso West, and he's one of the key players there. But they have good balance, as I mentioned to you. Emmanuel Brown, and of course, Javarian Banks, who got into foul trouble, as a very explosive athlete.
Yeah, he picked up 2 quick fouls. We just saw DJ Cole check into the game for Waukegan for the first time, 5'10 junior. And here's a chance for him in the corner. Doesn't quite go down. The rebound taken by Zach Ashburn, the 6'8 junior for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, they're using their size. One Jackson Davis.
Woo-hoo, what a move, but he can't hit the jumper. And offensive board tipped around, battling for it. And here comes Waukegan the other way, alley-oop attempt. And coming down with it was Carter, tapped out of bounds. It will stay with Waukegan. That was some sequence there.
And it indeed was, and we knew it was going to be up-tempo, but the pace just keeps kicking up. But right
it doesn't seem like it could go any faster, but it does.
I know, and right now that's favoring Warren, who seems to be a little bit more controlled on the offensive side of the board. Their shot selection's a little better.
It has
if
been.
you were charting it.
25-12, the Bulldogs lead. 4.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Done over for Phillips. Now Newsom, blocked by Davis. Tapped around and taken by Carter, and Waukegan can reset. And Dunn lost control. Davis got possession on the floor.
Here comes Jackson Davis going coast to coast.
Kicks out, now down low on the drive. That doesn't fall. Ashburn had it blocked, and an opportunity in transition for the Bulldogs. Oh, what a move.
Beautiful
going under
move.
the basket. Samarian Carter.
I like the way Samarian Carter's thinking there. Beautiful to watch. He's been averaging pretty close to 16 points per game. And you saw once he made up his mind to get to the basket, he's got the hops.
DJ Cole the inbound. In for Carter, now Newsom.
Stolen away.
Davis gets the steal, and then he got knocked down, but they play on.
Yeah.
Warren fans didn't like the call, no call there.
Yeah, they're letting them play.
Cole, down low, good
Blocked.
fake, but then blocked by Ashburn. He's whistled for the foul.
Now that looked pretty clean. It looked like he got it from behind, but we don't have the replay, but he was there in position. Zach Osborne at 6'8", being a presence down low, so going to the line is going to be Samarian Carter. This season, he's been shooting close to 80% from the free throw stripe.
It's the first one. That's the broadcaster's jinx now.
Yeah, it is.
Trayvon Roberts checking in.
He's a pretty sure bet most of the time, right?
Most of the time, yeah, about 80%. You'd expect he can hit the second. And it doesn't fall, so we did it to him again. 25-12, Warren ahead.
His parents aren't going to like us very much.
No, I don't think so. But he's a great player, great free throw shooter.
Jackson Davis.
And can't hit the corner three. Rebound taken by Dunn. Now Newsom open. Hits the top of the key three. Back to a 10-point game, 25-15 Warren.
Well, you got to like the spunk of Carter Newsom because he's like, you got to respect me too.
Ashburn in traffic. It's a tie-up. Possession arrow will give it to Waukegan. Maybe this is the run we were talking about.
Carter Newsom hitting that long-range bomber. He's got 6 points on the evening. Second leading scorer for the Bulldogs tonight.
Andrew Watson checks in for Warren. First time we've seen him tonight, the sophomore wing.
Now you're starting to feel that home court advantage a little bit. You talk about energy.
Starting to pick up in this building. Dunn, what a nice pass. Can't get the finish. And here come the Blue Devils. Josh Stewart all the way down the left side, and he's fouled.
Well, you wonder right there, but there's not a lot of room underneath that basket when Josh Stewart decided to go coast to coast.
Marion Carter picks up the foul, his first. Stewart able to hit the first free throw. 2:29 to go. Second quarter, 26-15 Blue Devils.
He got his first points of the evening. He's going to try to make it 2.
Not able to get the back end. Here's Dunn. Nearly had it tipped away. Kicks outside. DJ Cole, and a blocking foul is the call, going against Andrew Watson.
I like the conviction there. When you decide to go to the basket, you gotta let it all hang out. And I like that, the way he did. Once he decided to get in the lane and go to the basket, so he'll get some free throw opportunities because of that.
Cole at the line, hits the first free throw. Joseph Worthington checking back in. (26-16), 2:13 to go in the second quarter.
We got a chance to meet the young man at the line, DJ Cole. Nice young man. Talked to us before the game, briefly in the hallway when we were getting set up. Hits his free throws, gets first points of the game.
5'10" junior. They're defending Josh Stewart. As Brown, that's a nice baseline jumper.
Good way to answer. Emmanuel Brown hitting from the corner.
8 points for him. Dunn tried to dish it baseline, stole it. Jackson Davis into
Nice
the front
pass.
court. What a bounce pass ahead there for Emmanuel Brown.
Emmanuel Brown running. Jackson Davis, unselfish, finds him, and they convert on the break.
Back up to a 13-point lead for the Blue Devils. About a minute and a half to go in the first half. Dunn fakes, now kicks out. Worthington around the screen. Now he'll settle things back down. Patient possession from the Bulldogs. Pull-up jumper from Carter. Clangs off the iron, and the rebound taken there by Davis.
How many times have we seen that sequence? Davis getting the defensive board and starting to break.
He's been great on the boards tonight. Now a three from Walker. That's short. And taken by Carter.
Newsom. DJ Cole. Man.
Cole, that jumper doesn't fall either. And Bulldogs have been cold tonight.
Yeah, they can't buy a bucket right now, but it's not gonna go like that for the entire game, I would think.
Davis with the fake, can't hit. Offensive rebound though, and the putback attempt from Stewart. He'll head to the free throw line for 2.
John Stewart on the putback, and they're getting on the offensive boards. Good anticipation by Warren. Stewart earning those points.
First foul on Carter Newsom. Second foul on Waukegan in this second quarter. Brandon Phillips checking back in.
So Brandon Phillips, a 6'1" senior, back in the lineup for the Bulldogs here. Let's see if they get something going with 31 seconds left to go in this first half.
They're trying to get a little bit of momentum heading into the locker room for halftime. They had a mini run for a moment, but Warren responded well, and then a reach-in foul.
Well, I think they're getting the looks they want. It's just finishing those opportunities at the basket is what they have to do, get more of that to happen in the second half.
First foul there on Brown, and saw there Braylon Walker maybe took a little bit of a bump. 10 seconds left in the half.
They're going to play, obviously, for the last shot. Ashlaw going to let his guy do it.
Dunn steps back, deep three, doesn't go, and that won't count even if it went. But Warren in control in the first half, a 31-17 lead for the Blue Devils. Don, this team is red hot coming off the Proviso West Holiday Tournament, and they carried that right here into Waukegan.
Yeah, they're playing pretty self-assured. Good sound fundamental basketball, not getting out of their character. I think that's been the difference in the first half. Not that Waukegan didn't come out and play with an edge, but they weren't finishing their shots, and they had good shot opportunities.
So a 31-17 lead for Warren at the half. You're watching the CAC Network Game of the Week. We'll be back after this.
Every goal, every touchdown, a promise. And that promise deserves safeguarding. Introducing draft protection and loss of value insurance. Dream without limits. We've got the coverage. Opalencia. Plan your legacy. Call us now at 708-505-9719. Dog Style Inc. provides a pet-friendly campus that features boarding, training, home management, seasonal daycare, and grooming services. It's a small family business that takes pride in its knowledgeable staff and trainers with a family approach. The 3 acres of land surrounded by Half-Day Forest Preserve provides a great place for exercise and playtime for your dog. We're more than just a kennel. Dog Style is a lifestyle. Call us at 847-634-0722. This halftime interview was brought to you by Burt's Deli. Fill your belly at Burt's Deli in Green Tree Plaza, 114 Green Tree Parkway, Libertyville, Illinois, home of the Yummy. Don Johnson here with Warren Township guard Jackson Davis, whose name is creating a buzz in high school basketball right now. Your name is being bandied about with some pretty impressive names, and the name that keeps coming up is Jalen Brunson.
It's an honor just being brought up in the same name as him, knowing that he's making $40 million in the NBA. It's just great knowing that people are comparing me to him, but I know that I'm myself too.
What are some of the players that you model yourself after, or players you like on the NBA level or even on the collegiate level?
I would say Steph Curry. I like Tyrese Halliburton from Indiana because of his ability to see the floor very well. I also like a few college guards, Robert Dillingham and Aiden Holloway from Auburn. I like to watch.
The thing that I see is your poise. It just jumps out. Your poise, your comfort zone. You seem to be very comfortable. Where's that come from?
I feel like that came from a young age, just always playing up against older guys and just learning from older guys and taking what they know and then applying it to myself. The thing I do the best, I feel like, is like getting all my guys on the court involved on the court, finding the open guy, and then handling the ball under pressure. I feel like I do very well, and then the scoring stuff comes after.
Now I know Dad's a big part of what you do. Your dad's a coach. Let's talk about some of those things that your dad has helped you evolve to become the player and the young man that you are today.
Like, he's coached me since I was young, so I feel like that's where most of the teams, like, we had like our IQ of all of our guys were very high, and that's how we won most games, beating like other talented teams. And then from a young man standpoint, I feel like he just raised me is still raising me like the correct way, and just to be respectful and humble kid.
So what's most important in keeping things together as a team and progressing each week for you?
Is to just stay connected as a team, because we might run into a brick wall in a few weeks, but by playoffs, we just need to be all on the same page and just focused on winning games. Our camaraderie between our teammates, I mean, it's a fun group of guys to be around, and we all like laugh with each other, have conversations and jokes, and yeah.
Got an upcoming game coming against Waukegan Bulldogs, who play a similar style that you do, up tempo. They're going to come at you and take the ball hard to the goal. What do you know about the rivalry between Waukegan and Warren?
I just heard it's been very competitive throughout various years. But I just know that last year when I was sitting on the bench and they beat us at third place, I kind of felt that too. And for the guys that the seniors and juniors now, and a couple of our sophomore guys, I seen that kind of hurt them. So I just want to come in and win.
This halftime interview was brought to you by Burt's Deli. Fill your belly at Burt's Deli in Green Tree Plaza, 114 Green Tree Parkway, Libertyville, Illinois, home of the Yummy.
Welcome back to the Dog Pound in Waukegan. Alongside Don Johnson, I'm Connor Klingen. 31-17. Warren ahead as we enter the second half. So, Don, how can Waukegan make this a ball game in the second half?
Well, I think the way they do it is, I like the energy they came out with. The shot selection could be a little bit better. I think get closer to the basket, try to draw fouls, but most of all, finish the play. You got to finish the play. When you got easy baskets, you got to make them happen. The shot selection can be a little bit better. Don't settle for a three. Get to the basket.
Banks for Brown, kicks out. Walker fakes, the runner falls.
I like that. That's a tough shot to defend when you see that runner like that.
Dunn gives off for Carter.
So Warren comes right out and sets the tone.
Dunn tried to go down on the baseline, out of bounds, and a quick turnover for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he kind of lost his footing down there. He was looking to cut to the basket and just slid down on the floor, Brandon Phillips. So another miscue by Warren. Waukegan.
Here's Braylon Walker. Over for Davis, who had 7 points, all of them coming in the first quarter.
Waukegan kind of changing up, zoning up a little bit here.
Manuel Brown sinks the jumper. Up to an 18-point lead, 35-17, 6:55 to go in the third quarter.
Manny continues to lead all scorers with 14.
And a good response on the other side by Joseph Worthington. First points of the night for Worthington.
Newsom got his hand on it, got in the lane. Here comes Waukegan on the transition.
Carter had it affected there by Walker. Daniels comes away with it. Up ahead to Davis in the front court. And he nails the three.
For Jackson Davis, doesn't look like it, but he's got 10 points. A quiet 10, but that's how workmanlike he is.
I'd imagine he might have 10 more or so in him. 19-point lead for the Blue Devils. Newsom fakes, now a skip pass across the floor. Worthington over to the right side, through traffic. Nice finish as he rolls it over the rim.
Good patience by Joseph Worthington. He got in the line to the Giants, but then muscled his way at the end of that basket and finished.
And Javarian Banks whistled for the travel. We haven't seen him since the first quarter when he picked up those 2 quick fouls.
I know, and if you've never seen this team before, Banks could easily be called one of, if not the most explosive player in the lineup.
He had some thunderous dunks in that Proviso West Holiday Tournament. Here's Dunn, gets a screen from Carter, now dishes over. Into the corner, Phillips, too strong. And
Davis came down with the defensive board again. It's got to be like his 5th.
He's been very impressive battling on the boards. And as you said, Don, he's only 6'1", but he just looks great battling for those rebounds. Had it blocked there. Now an open 3 for Brown off the front iron, and the rebound taken there by Phillips. Bulldogs looking to push. Oh, but an errant pass, just some miscommunication.
He had an easy 3-on-1 break there and just got mechanical there. Instead of driving, once you get down below the lane, you have to decide what you're going to do. But they had the advantage. It was 3-1, 3-2.
And that caused Ron Ashlaw have Phillips come to the bench. DJ Cole into the game for the Bulldogs.
So 38-21, and Warren's been pretty much in command here.
Here's Daniels, dishes off. That jumper short, offensive rebound. Jump ball. And the possession arrow will give it to the Bulldogs.
And you know how they say rebounding is somewhat attitude and your determination. Well, we saw that he just kept fighting for the basketball on the boards, and I'm talking about Alex Daniels. Didn't go his way, but he was in there battling all the way.
Yeah, you can see seems to be one of those players that's kind of the heart and soul of this Warren team.
Yes.
One of just a couple seniors that's contributing for the Blue Devils. It's a young team and a very talented one. Here's Dunn. Pulls up. And doesn't get the roll. And the rebound taken there by Walker.
Well, you can see the athleticism in Dunn. He can get a shot anytime he wants to. But like in the first half, that's been the story, not being able to finish.
Jackson Davis, the runner on the baseline, in and out. And the Bulldogs push ahead. 3 on the way from Worthington. Skips out and tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bulldogs. 3:43 to go in the third. A 38-21 lead for Warren.
Ron Ashlaw up off the bench trying to get his troops to get under control when they get to the basket. Finish those plays.
Newsom will inbound for Carter. Now Worthington into the lane. Floats it up. Offensive rebound. Blocked Alex Daniels. Josh Stewart checking in.
Pretty impressed with Joseph Worthington's first step explosiveness, his ability to get into the lane, in the interior, in the purple area, whenever he wants to. But again, the story has been they got to finish. They can get there, but they can't finish.
This is a Waukegan team that averages over 70 points a game, just 21 with over 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, but they got a 3 from Carter Newsom. 38-24. Waukegan cuts it to a 14-point edge for Warren.
Newsom only a sophomore, but he's getting it done.
Oh, and here's a steal for Worthington. Joseph Worthington with the dish for Dunn. He's fouled by Daniels.
Well, you like the energy, getting the ball in transition, pressing, making it tough for Warren, who was on their heels defensively.
Manuel Brown getting ready to check in, but Zach Ryan takes a timeout with Waukegan starting to get some momentum back here. What have you seen from the Bulldogs?
Well, I like that they're now beginning to find themselves playing with a little bit more continuity. We've seen them on the transition have the advantage now 3 times down now, and now they're starting to finish some of those plays where they weren't. So if they can do that, they can work their way back into the game. There's still plenty of time, but you can tell that the crowd has been taken out of the game, the home advantage.
Yeah, there was a lot of energy right at the tip and in that first quarter, that first couple minutes, but Warren really has taken over for the most part since then. But with the timeout, a good time to remind everybody to fill your belly at Burt's Deli.
Why not? A lot of people do. I did today.
Pre-game, had the sandwiches brought in. It's in Green Tree Plaza, 114 Green Tree Parkway in Libertyville. Home of the Yummy, which is corned beef, pastrami, cheese, mustard, and horseradish.
Yeah, pretty tasty sandwich. I have mine on an onion roll today, and don't mind if I do.
I love the onion roll. That's a veteran move right there,
Yes,
Don.
indeed.
So make sure to check out Burt's, and we appreciate their support of the CAC network. 38-24, Warren ahead, and a couple of free throws coming for Nehemiah Dunn. Dunn sporting the green shoes. Noticing a lot of the Bulldogs with the green shoes. I love the color scheme for Waukegan with the purple, the green, and the gold.
You're not going to make those shoes will light up the gym.
And I assume most of the folks in this area know about this, but myself coming from the western suburbs, I had to ask, where did the eye patch on the Bulldog come from? Well, it actually comes from when there were 2 high schools in Waukegan, and the old mascot was the Raiders. And so the eye patch is a nod to the Raiders, and that's why it's on the left eye of the Bulldogs.
That's a good tidbit there. I thought it was coming from George Clinton.
Nice bounce pass down to Walker. The high runner doesn't fall. On an offensive rebound. 3 on the way is short from Banks. And a battle for this board, out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Devils. 2:32 in the third quarter. 38-26 Warren.
Quick jumping by Warren on the offensive board. They're just battling now. They've got a comfortable lead, 38-26, but it looks like Waukegan trying to make a little run here, trying to wake up offensively.
Jackson Davis through traffic and whistled for the travel. And you can see Zach Ryan looking a little bit frustrated right now. Starting to see Waukegan creep back into this game. Bulldogs will roll it up the floor, save some time. Here's Dunn. Dunn down the middle of the lane to the right side, draws some contact and a foul.
See, now Dunn wants to get some of those to drop if he can do that and draw the foul like he's doing, but I like the fact that he's attacking the basket and he's getting to the free throw line, so that's good.
That foul went on Braylon Walker, his second, the second on the Blue Devils as a team.
So far in the year, Dunn has been shooting close to 55% from the free throw strike.
And he sinks the first.
I think you take a look at some of the Waukegan fans out there.
And it's been a fantastic crowd tonight. A full house. Actually, I think you could call it standing room only, Don.
Yes.
For a lot of the seats around the top edge, the dog pound. Dunn makes both free throws, a 10-point game, and some pressure in the backcourt from the Bulldogs.
Well, that's the way you get back in the game. Get to the free throw line, slow the game down without the clock moving, make your free throws. That's a good way to get back in the game.
Braylon Walker defended tightly by Dunn.
See if Waukegan can get it under double digits.
Walker doubled in the corner. Crowd making some noise. Banks with the fake. Down the lane, off the glass and in.
There's an example of that explosiveness that I was telling you about, Banks.
First points for Javarian Banks. Back to a 12-point edge, 40-28 Warren. About a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. Three from Newsom, and he rattles it home. 9-point game.
Getting it down under one now, huh? Getting one digits, right?
Under 1:20 to go, third quarter. Jackson Davis. Baseline jumper. That's a brick, but an offensive rebound. Right down for Brown, and he's fouled. He'll head to the line for 2.
So you like the fact now that Waukegan is hustling and trying to chip away at the lead and getting it down under one digit. That's good.
DJ Cole picks up the foul, his first. And Emmanuel Brown sinks the first free throw. Jakari Nab checking back in for the Blue Devils. Javarian Banks to the bench.
Emmanuel Brown quietly has led all scorers with the Blue Devils, and he continues to do so, hitting his second free throw.
Up to 16 points on the night, 42-31. Warren ahead with just over a minute to go in the third quarter. Worthington for Newsom. He's shown the range, fakes, laser pass down low, the bucket, and the foul for Carter.
Well, it was a nice inset pass. Carter had good body position in the low block. Teammate spotted him down there, gave him a good look, and he converted, which is something they weren't doing in the first half.
So it's a chance now for Samarian Carter to make it an 8-point game with 50 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And we mentioned he's one of the better free throw shooters, but having a tough night tonight. Just can't find the mark.
So
and we're talking about an 88% free throw shooter.
You know, some of the times it's the atmosphere. Seeing the bright lights of a game like this makes it a little bit tougher at the line. So here's Walker, quickly trapped. They kick it back out for Davis. Now near the bench, back for Davis. Defended by Newsom. Blue Devils taking their time with a 9-point lead. 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Now down to 10. Davis going to work down the lane, and a foul called before the shot. At least it looked like to me they called that before the shot, but we'll see.
You see the quickness and control. Davis working his way into the paint, methodically.
8 seconds left in the third. 42-33 Warren, and they'll inbound underneath the Waukegan basket. Get it in there to Brown. 5 seconds left in the corner. Tapped around. Josh Stewart out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Devils. They've got 2.8 seconds. What can they find here? Not much time to work with. They find Jackson Davis, gets some space, left the three short, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Warren ahead 42-33, but Waukegan coming back in this one. We're going to take a break. Fourth quarter coming up on the CAC Network.
Dog Style Inc. provides a pet-friendly campus that features boarding, training, home management, seasonal daycare, and grooming services. It's a small family business that takes pride in its knowledgeable staff and trainers with a family approach. The 3 acres of land surrounded by Half-Day Forest Preserve provides a great place for exercise and playtime for your dog. We're more than just a kennel. Dog Style is a lifestyle. Call us at 847-634-0722.
Welcome back to Waukegan. About ready to begin the fourth quarter. 42-33, Warren leads, and the Blue Devils have the basketball. As you take a look at the head coach, Ron Ashlaw, Waukegan working their way back. They've trailed by as many as 18 in this ball game.
They need some defense here. They need a turnover. They need to get things going and make sure that they can lock down Warren and try to get this thing under control.
Down low for Daniels, tipped out of bounds, and it'll be Waukegan basketball. That's just the kind of start they were looking for in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. Now they have to be patient here and look for a good shot. Don't rush it now.
Here's Carter Newsom, who's 4 for 4 from beyond the arc tonight. DJ Cole on the right wing, defended by Daniels.
You see the patience here that we haven't seen, running a half-court offense.
And Dunn is fouled, and he's been perfect at the free throw line tonight.
Yeah, so he's the guy you want the ball in his hands, doing exactly what he did there, attacking the basket, and that's how you whittle into that lead while the clock's not moving. Get to the free throw stripe, and you got to hit your free throws when you get there.
And that's also the third foul on Braylon Walker. Dunn sinks the first. Back to an 8-point game. 42-34, 7:21 to go in the fourth quarter.
Dunn, as we mentioned, coming into the game, 55%, close to 56% free throw shooter.
Dunn makes the second as well.
Gets it done. Dunn gets it done, right?
7-point game, 42-35. 7:15 to go in the fourth quarter.
Little token pressure doesn't seem to bother Jackson Davis.
And Davis whistled for a travel. The Warren fans are livid right now. And Davis can't believe it.
Yeah.
Neither can Zach Ryan.
No. There was definitely some contact on the play. He finished it anyway, but they called it against him.
Here's Worthington. Working the right side. Down on the baseline. Doesn't fall. Offensive rebound done. He goes up and he's fouled.
Yeah, DJ Cole got penetration, but Warren got their hands up there. And Dunn got the putback, so he's going to the stripe again. Let's see if he can dig more into this lead. They quietly work their way back into this game if he hits these free throws.
Dunn with 13 points tonight, make it 14. He's been outstanding at the line.
So just like that, they've got it to within 6. Could make it 5 here. That's probably been about the closest they've been.
6:58 to go. Second free throw upcoming for Nehemiah Dunn, the 6'4" senior. And it's off the front iron. So it remains a 6-point game, 6:55 to go, 42-36, Warren ahead.
Getting into crunch time now. We're in the final period here, and so we'll see what both these teams are made of down the stretch.
Here's Daniels at the top of the key. Kicks out. Had Worthington there. Daniels. Double team. Kicks out for Davis. A deep three off target. Rebound taken by Newsom. Numbers for the Bulldogs. Up ahead, Worthington for 2. It's a 4-point game. And Zach Ryan will take a timeout. The crowd's on their feet here at Waukegan.
Yeah, the Dog Pound is responding to the efforts of the Waukegan team, moving that break to perfection, 2-on-1 finishing when they weren't doing that in the first half. Now they got it to within 4.
42-38. This is the kind of game we were expecting tonight. Lower scoring than it looked like at the outset. Both teams have gone through a cold spell here, so how does Warren respond to this run and this atmosphere?
Well, maybe it was the television lights that got them excited, but we're seeing now both teams sort of pick up their energy, realizing that this is the most critical part of the game right here and now, the last 6 minutes. So they have to be locked into execution. It's one thing to know what you want to do, it's another thing to be focused and be able to do it.
So the Blue Devils trying to respond to some adversity here. 4-point game. Meanwhile, Waukegan looking for a comeback for the ages. If they're able to come all the way back in this one, it would rank probably not quite to the Jeremy Richmond game, but close.
Yes, and you gotta feel like when you look at their faces, they look up for it.
Walker, double team. Finds a man down low. He's blocked by DJ Cole. Tipped around, and a foul on Cole.
So good battling on the boards there, on the offensive boards. You like it? DJ trying to get after it because they sense an opportunity here.
It's the second on Cole. They get it into Jackson Davis. Davis looking to drive on the baseline. Doesn't fall. Offensive rebound, and he's fouled on the putback attempt.
See the tenacity. You see Davis getting after it. He realizes, too, what time it is, and it's time for a player like him to step it up and see if they can take over the game. And he knows he has the abilities to do it.
That's the third foul now on DJ Cole. 2 free throws for Jackson Davis, has 10 points tonight. He's had just 3 in the second half, had 7 in the first quarter, but now makes the free throw to make it 43-38 Warren with 5:53 to go. In and out on the second free throw.
And free throws are critical at this portion of the game.
Newsom fakes the 3. Now Dunn is open, and he got it! This place is up for grabs. It's a 2-point game.
Nehemiah Dunn gets the crowd back into it, and that's what you like. This is what the Dog Pound's all about.
43-41 Warren. Walker fouled by Carter.
Ron Ashlow up off the bench. There you take a look at Ron. He's fired up. His team feels like something's brewing.
You can sense the energy. You look at the bench, you hear the crowd. This is the kind of game we were hoping for. But a great inbounds pass for Javarian Banks. 45-41. That was actually Braylon Walker who had the 2 there. And a reach-in foul.
Newsom providing some great opposition against Banks. Banks can't stay with him. He's really quick there, Newsom is.
He's been impressive tonight.
Yes, he has. He's been a willing challenger.
They get it into Dunn in the corner. Not that time. Cole battled for the rebound, tipped around, And taken there by Jackson Davis. 45-41 Warren. Just under 5 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
Every possession critical here.
Davis down the lane and one.
Jackson Davis sensing the moment, gets to the basket. Now he has a chance to make it a three-point play.
Foul went on Carter Newsom, his second. Chance for a three-point play for Jackson Davis. Hits the free throw. 48-41 Blue Devils. Waukegan back down by 7. Newsom again. Too strong. Tapped out Worthington. Newsom fakes. Now Worthington. Bulldogs will reset. Newsom in the corner. Now down the lane. Worthington dribbles back out. Waukegan searching for their best shot. And Dunn is fouled.
Yeah, and Dunn was fouled hard by Javarian Banks. And Dunn's been pretty active for Waukegan tonight, leading all scorers with 17. They give that to Davis. Huh?
They gave it to Davis. That hit is his second. Fourth on Warren as a team.
Take a look at Ron Ashlaw there. He's in the moment.
I'll give credit to Coach Ashlaw bringing this team back. Worthington, left corner, doesn't fall. DJ Cole, offensive rebound, lost the handle. And Walker came away with it, and a foul going on Dunn.
Dunn must be cramping up his right foot because he hadn't stood up really quickly. He's trying to stretch it and maybe getting cramps. You hope he's okay because he's been leading the team with scoring tonight, 17 points.
And a timeout taken, but more importantly, Don, that's the fifth foul there on the
And
Bulldogs.
that's his average too, 17 points, by the way.
So that sends Warren to the free throw line after this timeout here by Coach Ashlaw.
And that's what we all want to do, live our best life, right?
No question about it. We're doing it tonight.
That's right.
Just a fantastic atmosphere. Credit to Colette Urbach, the athletic director here at Waukegan, and everybody in the administration for putting on a fantastic atmosphere here tonight at the Dog Pound.
Colette Urbach was very ingratiating for us, the crew, allowing us to come in and cover this game. And then we heard from Coach Ron Ashlaw, who I know from his first cycle as coach here, and they were very accommodating here, and we appreciate that. Also, shout out to Brian McNulty, AD and head football coach over there at Warren, doing an excellent job, giving us access there, talking to the coach and then talking to, their star player, Jackson Davis.
We're very appreciative to both schools and a fantastic turnout. You even got a Lakes High School fan in the crowd because everybody just wants to see this game tonight.
Yes, they do. And so you got to believe that basketball is back in the Dog Pound.
Yes, it is. Braylon Walker makes the first. 49-41 Warren, 4:07 to go in the fourth quarter. And the second free throw also good for Walker.
Just like that, creating some distance. 9 points with just over 4 minutes to go.
Nehemiah Dunn on the outside. Tried to go down the lane. It's stolen away. Up ahead, Jackson Davis with the lay-in. 52-41 Warren, and a foul called.
Well, that's the thing that you know about this young man, Jackson Davis. Very deceptive on defense. It's like watching the Cobra strike. Kind of lulls you to sleep, and all of a sudden then you realize he's picked your pocket. Very quick hands.
Does pick up his third foul here with 3:45 to go. Davis is up to 16 points. Newsom is at the free throw line and hits the first. Back to a 10-point game.
Newsom has held his own tonight. He's got 13, and he's going to try to make it 14 here.
Adrian Serrano checking in for the Bulldogs. First time we've seen him tonight, the sophomore guard. And I think for Coach Ashlaw, potentially with Serrano, you just want to get your best defense on the floor, but also you want to get players that have the availability of those fouls. They force a turnover. It's back to the Bulldogs.
As they're trapping defense, they were hovering around the basketball, and he mishandled the ball, so they got what they wanted, the turnover here, and a chance to whittle into the lead.
Andrew Watson comes back on for Warren. 3:30 to go, 52-43, Warren ahead by 9.
Zach Ryan was looking on his knee from the sidelines, hoping that his team has the patience and the poise to finish.
Mid-range jumper falls from Carter. 7-point game, big shot by Simi Carter.
Yes, Samarian Carter, 15.7 points. He's been averaging this season, and he can fill it up when he has to.
Jackson Davis driving on the baseline. I don't know how he got that to fall, but he did.
Jackson,
18 points.
Yeah, very poised, very smooth. The name that comes up a lot, and we talked about it a lot of times, is Jalen.
Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
How could you forget from Stevenson? He was a legend as Nehemiah Dunn goes the other way.
Dunn with 19 tonight.
Yeah, he has been very impressive. Over 17 points for Dunn. And a foul, so Davis now will head to the free throw line. And it's funny, Don, you said it earlier, he's just kind of that quiet assassin because it looked like Waukegan was keeping him in check. Well, if he makes both free throws, he'll be at 20 points for the night.
Well, see, he's the kind of guy that just does what's needed to be done. And so if you're not paying attention, you don't see that.
2:29 to go as Davis makes the first. Let's get a look at Zach Ryan. How excited do you think Zach Ryan was when he found out about Jackson Davis?
Oh, he has, an exciting player can uplift a lot of aspects of your program.
Davis now up to 20 points. There's a whistle, 2 free throws coming.
So if you're the Waukegan Bulldogs, at what point do you start jacking up the threes to get back in the game?
Yeah, have to get to
go.
Desperation time. Trailing here by 9, 2:23 to play. And the first free throw doesn't go for Worthington. It's at that point where you have to start going for threes, and if you don't get the turnover, you've got to start fouling as well. As Worthington makes
full court
the
press. Token pressure, but good pressure.
Davis and a reach-in foul, so Jackson Davis back to the free throw line. I said he was at 20 earlier. He's actually at 19 right now. So this one, if he makes it, would get him to 20 on the night. And he does.
And here's the thing that you know about outstanding players. They make it look easy. And so if you're not paying attention, you don't realize the level that they're playing at.
It was, as we said, Don, seemed like he was having a quiet night. Had 7 points in the first quarter. Then second and third quarter, very quiet. But here in this fourth quarter, he's really taken over this ball game. 58-48. What a crossover dribble, and the three is good from Dunn. 7-point game, 58-51. There's life for the Bulldogs.
Nehemiah Dunn he's not done. He's still working.
And a timeout called by Zach Ryan. seeing the pressure there coming from Waukegan.
Better ask the 6'4" senior Nehemiah if he's done, because I don't think he's done.
I think he's got some more in him. 22 points for Dunn. He's outpacing Jackson Davis, who's got 21. 58-51, Warren ahead.
Well, you know, that's the effect I think sometimes a storied player might have on the opposition, is you come out to challenge when you're playing against a player who's expected to do well. I think if you're competitive, you accept that challenge, you know.
Waukegan's definitely done that tonight. Credit to the Bulldogs. In the first half, Warren really took the air out of this gym, but they have battled and fought. They had it to a 2-point game at one point, but good composure by the Blue Devils.
Yes. Every time Waukegan got close, they were able to focus and pull it back. So. Brian Davis is the dad of Jackson Davis, is over on the bench with Zach Ryan, one of the coaches, and he's been coaching his son for most of his life and really enjoying the ride and enjoying his son's success.
Well, he has to be very proud, a proud pops with the way Jackson Davis has performed, and he just got knocked down to the floor there. Him and Newsom been battling all night long. Walker has it stolen into the front court. Worthington with the easy 2. It's a 5-point game with 1:37 to go.
So smartly, Ashlaw calls a timeout. 1:37 to go. Now, this is a chess match now. 58-53. If you're Waukegan, you got to make your free throws here, and then you got to get some turnovers. But you got to make your shots.
5-point lead for the Blue Devils, 1:37 to play. And what has been an outstanding basketball game.
Yeah, and this is a, conference game for these two, North Suburban Conference, and we've been talking about the restoration of basketball as it pertains to these two programs that for a while had a little dip in their program. We saw those great teams with Ceola Clark, Warren, Brandon Paul, Darius Paul, his brother. So, but now Warren is coming back after the pandemic. Waukegan's coming back, and we're starting to see those programs rise to the occasion.
Yeah, with the crowd here tonight, basketball is back in full force in the North Suburban Conference. And Warren looking to keep their perfect conference record alive. Waukegan trying to keep their 9-game win streak alive. Walker, open 3 on the way, and that might do it. Andrew Watson with a big-time 3.
Andrew Watson, the dagger. Now that Waukegan's got to work fast, but smartly.
They trail by 8.
The clock is going against them, yep.
Have to have quick possessions. Worthington, a deep 3, and he nails it. Maybe pulling the nail out of the dagger there.
Timeout, stopping the clock, So now you got to get a turnover. You got to get to the free throw stripe, and you don't want the clock to move. That's where you got to get your points.
61-56, Warren ahead, 1:01 to play.
Look at those cheerleaders. That always amazes me when they go up that high and keep their balance.
It's impressive. They do great work. Great job by the band tonight as well at the Dog Pound.
Yeah, it's nice to have that atmospheric band, the opening with the color guard, all those traditional things that the Dog Pound has brought us over the years. We saw it here tonight.
And of course, plenty of fans in the house. Some of them are heading out. I think they may have left this one too early, Don.
Yeah, for my money, yes. I would say you're right. Because the Dogs look like they got a little bit of fight.
They do. Get it into Braylon Walker. Worthington putting the pressure on with Cole. It's stolen away. Jump ball, and the possession arrow will give it to Waukegan. So the Bulldogs get a turnover.
They got what they wanted. Surprisingly, they didn't have Jackson Davis bring the ball up. You know, I thought that was odd in this circumstance.
Newsom over to Dunn. 40 seconds to play. Worthington, a deep three again. That one's short. And the rebound taken by the Blue Devils. Just over 30 seconds to go. A 61-56 lead. Jackson Davis. Oh, wide
look at that.
open. What a pass to Javarian Banks.
Look at that dish. Good vision. Put some speed on that pass, and that's going to be it.
Newsom, the deep three doesn't go. Banks is fouled, and that just about does it in this one. 12 seconds to go, 63-56 Warren. Most of the fans heading for the seats, but what a ball game this has been, Don.
Yeah, and I believe we got our money's worth. Jackson Davis, you saw that dime he just threw, 21 points. And again, he does what he needs to do. That's what you see in this young man. Only a freshman. He's only going to get better.
So now Javarian Banks at the free throw line for a pair. Sinks the first. Well, this Warren team tonight, Don, they showed why they're currently ranked 4th by the Chicago Sun-Times in the area and 5th in Class 4A. This is a team that can make a deep run in the month of March.
Yeah, you see the boys already, and we're just at mid-season.
Final seconds, Dunn, he hits the three. He wasn't done. That's 25 points for Nehemiah Dunn.
I like a man with heart, and Dunn has got the heart tonight. 25 points, and he just keeps coming.
Yeah, he's not going to give it up. 64-59, 5.2 to play. 25 points for Nehemiah Dunn. On the other side, Jackson Davis with 21. Braylon Walker also with 10 for the Blue Devils.
So what do you like for your player of the game?
Well, with Warren coming away with the victory, I think you'd be hard-pressed to go with anybody else other than Jackson Davis.
I'd have to agree with you on that.
21 points.
Somehow you knew I might say that, right?
But a great effort by the Waukegan Bulldogs, and had they pulled the comeback, it would have been Nehemiah Dunn on the other side. He definitely deserves it.
Yeah, I mean, he got his money's worth tonight.
Get it into Walker. One more foul there from Worthington.
And nothing to be disappointed by because they came out with an edge. They just weren't hitting their shots in the first half. Second half, they did a better job, and their defense kind of turned it up, created some offensive opportunities.
And this is a Waukegan team that started in conference, actually their overall record at 2-4.
Yes.
They had won 9 straight games. They won the Elgin Christmas tournament. So they've got nothing to hang their heads about, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with in February and March as well.
And giving their fans something positive to think about as they ascend in the North Suburban Conference.
3.7 seconds left. Second free throw from Walker is good, 66-59. One more shot here for the Bulldogs, and Carter Newsom left it short. And the Warren Blue Devils come into the dog pound and win it 66-59 over Waukegan. 21 points for the freshman phenom, Jackson Davis.
Yeah, Jackson Davis was quiet. He was a quiet workman. When he needed to step up there in the fourth quarter, he took charge and did what he needed to do to control the game.
A great game tonight. It was a big lead for Warren. Waukegan with a valiant comeback effort, but that'll do it. 66-59, Warren wins it. We'll have more coming up on the post-game show. Thanks for tuning in on the CAC Network, and stay tuned for more.
Dog Style Inc. provides a pet-friendly campus that features boarding, training, home management, seasonal daycare, and grooming services. It's a small family business that takes pride in its knowledgeable staff and trainers with a family approach. The 3 acres of land surrounded by Half-Day Forest Preserve provides a great place for exercise and playtime for your dog. We're more than just a kennel. Dog Style is a lifestyle. Call us at 847-634-0722.
Welcome to the post-game interview. I'm with Jackson Davis, our player of the game. And you finished tonight, with beautiful performance, taking over in the fourth quarter. But what were some of the things that were going through your head there going into that fourth quarter about the way that Waukegan was attempting to come back into this game?
I saw Waukegan trying to come back. I just knew in my mind that I had to start taking over the game as a point guard of the game. And we made adjustments on the offensive end, started spreading the floor out, and I thought that was a huge adjustment and going in the fourth quarter for us to pick up this win.
Dunn and your good buddy Newsom were actually getting to the basket. They had some trouble finishing in the first half, but they were getting to the basket and making some of their shots and getting to the free throw line. They were able to actually mount a comeback.
Yeah, they played well. They played very well tonight. We didn't hit shots on our end very well, and we turned over the ball a little bit too much. But credit to Waukegan on this game.
And what did Coach say to you at the end about controlling and keeping your poise in that fourth quarter?
He just said, just stay the course. We'll be all right, and I know you'll take over the game and win it.
Well, congratulations, Jackson Davis, our player of the game. Freshman guard from Warren finishes with 21, and of course, a great outing tonight, 66-59, coming up with a big victory in the Dog Pound, an exciting turnout. Who can say that the basketball's not back in the Dog Pound and in the North Suburban League? We see players like yourself, and we see good matchups between Waukegan and Warren. Well, that's it from the Dog Pound. I'm Don Johnson. We'll see you again next time.